Peter's time in Huddersfield is soon to be coming to an end. Does he go forward through the Huddersfield Narrow Canal and the Standedge Tunnel, or does he go back the way he came via Hebden Bridge? My name's Marianne and I am part-time boater. Peter has been in Huddersfield since before Christmas. His reason for going there was to spend Christmas in Huddersfield with me and my daughter, and also to be there for my daughter's graduation. This got cancelled and was rescheduled to last week. That has now taken place. We had a lovely celebration of my daughter's graduation, and now our thoughts can turn to moving the boat. We've been stationary for quite a long time, and whilst it's been pleasant to be at Aspley Wharf and Huddersfield, the time has now come to move. Peter has two choices. Does he go forward on the Huddersfield Narrow Canal and through the Standedge Tunnel, or does he go back the way he came along the Rochdale Canal? So for Peter to go forward through the Standedge Tunnel in order to reach Manchester, he would need to travel 38 miles and do 100 locks. This would take 8 days for that whole journey, or 11 days if we had some rest days built in, which we probably would have done. If he were to go via the Rochdale Canal, going back the way he came, it would take 10 days, but 14 days realistically with some rest days built in. So 8 days or 10 days without the breaks. The way that we wanted to do it was to go through the Standedge Tunnel. I wanted to be with Peter because people have said, oh, you've got to do the Standedge Tunnel, it's such an experience. And so I thought this would be a really good opportunity to do it. We decided we would move the boat on about the 8th of April, the first week of the school holidays, because that would fit in with my schedule. However, when Peter looked into it, the earliest date he could get was Monday the 18th of April. This happens to be Easter Monday. So I don't know if you're aware of the things that you have to do if you want to book a passage through the Standedge Tunnel, but there is a process involved which we have fallen short of. The result of this is that we are not able to cruise the boat and move it in that direction to our schedule, but we're now in a position where we have to follow the schedule that's laid down by CRT. Let me explain. Because I'm still working, and I work about 4 hours away from Huddersfield, I can't be with Peter when he needs to do certain things. So making the decision to go through the Standedge Tunnel, he then had to get in touch with the CRT and book a chaperone. He can cruise his own boat through the tunnel, but he needs somebody else on board. When he contacted CRT and looked on the calendars online, you can do this all online, but when he did that, he realised that the earliest date he could get would be Easter Monday, the 18th of April. So this means that we have had to change our plans. I gave Peter some options. I said, look, if I can't be with you on going through the tunnel, you can always get a friend or relative to go with you, and you can still do it in your time frame. But he didn't really want to do that. He wanted me with him, which I'm really grateful for, because it means I get the experience as well. The other option I gave Peter was, well, let's not do the Standedge Tunnel this time, but go back along the Rochdale, and I will be with you and I can help you through some of the difficult places that he's had to travel. But I think people have been saying to him, look, if you're so close to the Standedge Tunnel, just do it, you know, what's the problem? So why are we so interested in going through the Standedge Tunnel? So the Standedge Tunnel facts. It's the longest, deepest, highest canal tunnel that we have here in the UK. It lies 636 feet or 194 metres below Standedge Moors on the Pennines. It is 3.5 miles long or 5,029 metres or 16,499 feet. Those are the three dimensions you might be interested in length. It is only wide enough for one narrowboat to go through at any one time. You do not want to meet another narrowboat halfway through, not in 3.5 miles of tunnel. For this reason, it is very closely monitored. You have to contact the CRT at a minimum of 3 days ahead of time, book your chaperone, and then go through the tunnel. They say you have to book 3 days minimum, but Peter booked his passage for the 18th of April, I think about 4 weeks ahead of time. We couldn't get the date that we wanted, so he got in touch with them 4 weeks early, and the earliest date he could get was the 18th of April. So if you're thinking of doing the Standedge Tunnel, please, as soon as you get that thought and you know you're going to be there to do it, get in touch with CRT and find out the available dates. You can do it online, like I said, and you can book your passage at that point. There are a lot of rules and regulations associated with it. If you have a pet, it's got to be caged within the boat, preferably with somebody there to calm them if they're in any way excitable or nervous. But you still have to have them in some sort of container. So with us, we will need to put Flan inside his cat box, and I will be in the boat. I will probably be sort of hovering between the well deck and the cabin, but I'm looking forward to finding out exactly what we do. Passage times are from Marsden to Diggle, going west, between 8:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Going from Diggle to Marsden, east, you travel between 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. These travel times are between March and November. So even though we may have wanted to move the boat from Huddersfield sooner, we couldn't have moved until March anyway because of these restrictions going through the Standedge Tunnel. We didn't know that at the time. We should have planned a bit better, maybe, looked up what the requirements were, etc. ahead of time. But we were constrained by my daughter's graduation and also my work times as well. The CRT allow 3 boats in one direction in the morning and 3 boats in the other direction in the afternoon. So 6 boats a day can travel through the tunnel. It does take quite a long time. I'm not sure how long it takes actually, but if you can imagine 3.5 miles travelling at about 4 miles an hour, it's going to take over an hour. I don't think we'll be doing 4 miles an hour through the tunnel. It's more likely going to be 2 to 3. So it's going to take a good hour, maybe hour and a half. But when I find out that information, I'll let you know so that you can be aware of it. I'm being a bit cautious about doing the canal journey and the locks and walking the towpaths since my accident a year ago. So we can do this in theory in about 3 days, at least to the other side of the Standedge Tunnel. But I'm allowing 4 to 5 days to do this so that I'm not putting myself under time pressure to do the walk along the towpath between locks. So that's the plan. So I will be going to Huddersfield to meet up with Peter on around the 12th or 13th of April after my daughter's birthday. And then we will be travelling to the portal at the Marsden end just about, well, I suppose the day before. That's our goal. So maybe Easter Saturday or Easter Sunday we will hope to be at that end of the tunnel. Then we will go through, and once we're through to the other side, I will then have to get on a train and come back home, preparing for work the following week. Peter will then cruise on to Manchester on his own, and then once there, meet up with his family and maybe go to the Science Museum and spend some time with them. When I return back from the Standedge Tunnel, I don't know when I will next be with Peter. As I said, it's a 4-hour journey each way, and my work schedule will ramp up again once the Easter holidays are over. So I hope this gives you some sort of an overview and some sort of a heads up, so that if you want to do the Standedge Tunnel, book it well in advance. I think it's really important for you to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you if you have, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you taking the time to follow me on YouTube. So next week's video is actually going to be looking back at my canal accident, which happened 1 year ago, almost to the day. I hope you'll tune in again next week for that video. It's quite an emotional journey for me. So until then, until next week's video,